Thank you so much, Eric, for joining, and I wish you a very happy New Year 2025 in advance. And next year will be a great for you. That's my that is my wish for you. Okay, and now can you please provide some of your introduction?
Sure. My name is Eric Gu. I'm currently based out of the United States in New York. Currently working as a distinguished architect at a Fortune 500 telecommunications company. We have
Great.
one of our largest networks. Yeah, we have one of the largest networks in the world. A little bit about my background. I started my career as a software engineer building trading systems in New York in the financial services industry, particularly in hedge funds. And then we did a lot of, full stack migrations, and I slowly transitioned to the infrastructure side. And I switched over mid-career over to infrastructure and networks. And now I'm currently working in, ITOM networks and network engineering.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so let's move to my first question to you. Your profile looks pretty impressive. You have good opportunities to work on various things. Uh, so my first question is like, I see you have self-service zero touch infrastructure as a code. Can you please explain this particular concept as well as if you have few example for that?
Sure, right. So for a few years now, we've already been in the cloud, the public cloud, Amazon AWS, and it's quite easy to, do automation for infrastructure in the cloud. Now, as things have become more competitive, things are coming back to the data center, kind of like data center cloud repatriation. So now what we want to do is basically automate, deploy, manage, and destroy infrastructure services using software at a single click of a button and create platforms for end users.
So what is your role in your current organization?
Currently, I'm an architect for network automation, building platform services, right, to deploy network automation out to thousands of retail stores. As part of that, we also have, run discovery. We also, build full stack applications end to end, for network automation.
Okay. Okay, great. And again, congratulations on clearing the discovery certification requirement. Okay. So can you please give some insight regarding what exactly you're doing in discovery in your organization?
Sure, we run multiple types of discovery, right? There is horizontal discovery where we've tried to discover many different pieces of infrastructure and relate them together to see a bird's eye view, right? A single pane of glass, right? For management when we're dealing with incidents, outages, all that data is very necessary, right? And that's the ServiceNow discovery. We also do, much deeper, right? Deeper kind of vertical discovery for network automation. Things that we want to take a really deep dive into the configuration of network devices, whether that's routers, switches, telephones, firewalls, right? We need all of that data inside those devices really deep. And we use, proprietary software for that as well to basically get all the data into our CMDB.
Okay, so that is along with ServiceNow discovery, you are using other tools as well.
Yes.
Okay, can you
It's a
name
mix
a
and
few of
match.
such tools where you do such integrations?
Yes, we do Cisco, right? Cisco Network Service
Cisco.
Orchestration.
Okay.
Cisco, they have a protocol called CDP. So Cisco Discovery Protocol as well. It's a layer 2 and LLDP as well to basically use the interfaces to crawl through the network and find all your devices. Some devices, for example, like Cisco telephones, don't use SNMP. So the ServiceNow discovery is still, evolving. right?
Okay.
But the needs for data has been there for many years, right? So we're basically combining everything into, ServiceNow and these platforms, right, to, get that single pane of glass. Yeah, and we do, a lot of also credentialless discovery as well. So credentialless discovery meaning certificates, right? SSL certificates. We go out there and look for URL-based discovery to find, the expiration date and to automate the expiration date of all certificates, certificate
Oh,
management.
okay. Okay. So ultimately, you are combining every data and updating your CMDB only, right? Means you are managing
Yes,
everything under a CMDB.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. So since you are from a networking background, how much it is helping you, or let me put it in this way. Suppose I want to start discovery. Okay. I want to start learning discovery, and how much networking knowledge should I have so that I will be able to do at least the out of box discovery well.
Um, you know, in the family of ITOM, the more IT knowledge you have, the better. If you have CCNA or any network experience, that's always helpful, right? One
Okay.
of the prerequisites for discovery is going to be, access, SNMP strings, SSH keys. You have to know kind of how those work. Um, but I think a basic understanding of network is definitely helpful for any ITOM, CMDB, or data discovery will be extremely helpful. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I do agree. Yeah. But just so you have very practical, connection between both discovery of service now as well as networking. So just wanted to know your thoughts. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So
Yes.
now,
So
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So those skills can definitely be learned. I didn't start as a network engineer, so it's definitely possible to learn. But definitely get those foundational skills, right? Those foundational IT skills are very very useful, whether no matter what, technology how technology changes. So for sure.
right, right, right. Great. So, okay. Let's move to your certification. Okay. Can you tell us more about the certification which you did and what was the prerequisite for that certification? ServiceNow Discovery certification.
Yes, so I pursue the certification because, like I said, there's many types of platforms that are doing discovery, not just ServiceNow. And I
Hmm.
really wanted to understand the ServiceNow methodology because they're a leader in the space. And so I think getting the certification, you definitely want to take your Udemy class, which I don't know if you can put it on the website. That was extremely helpful. I think you're one of the only places that have practical video to step by step showing you how to do discovery. I don't even think ServiceNow Learning has that. It's so definitely take that and see, you know, whether this is for you or not, because this is definitely a wide and deep field. So I would definitely say start with Omender's, you know, Udemy course. And then, if you decide to take a look at ServiceNow Learning, and then do the prerequisites for this certification.
Okay, okay. That's really, thank you so much for all faith and compliment. I'll try to improve more in that course and add more things. Okay. Okay. So how you prepared for that certification?
So I
One
think,
is my
like
course
I
is
said,
okay. Yeah.
the background would be definitely the Udemy course, Omender's Udemy course, your Udemy course, um, because it's going to give you, step by step, real hands-on practice on discovery. And then, couple with that, I think, going through ServiceNow Learning is going to give you some more, theoretical, knowledge on discovery. And then the third piece, I think, is going to be, doing practice questions, making sure that you're ready for the exam. But, you know, with certifications, as you know, you need to get the certification. But to succeed, you really need to do the hands-on labs, right? The hands-on experience. and only your course on Udemy has that. I don't think even ServiceNow Learning has those videos and content.
Okay, okay, great. Okay, so once you have, understood discovery and all, after that, when you go for like, competition or you say exams, so what type of questions they were asking? Can you share a bit about like if somebody want to uh, understand the concept or the, format of the questions, what type of questions, so difficulty
Okay,
level and
sure.
all.
There's standard, standard multiple choice questions, or I think select many questions, select different choice questions. So 2 out of the 3, and those are the only type of questions that there are. Mostly focused on theory, the stages of ServiceNow discovery,
Okay,
patterns, probes, as well as mid-server knowledge. These are all the things that are being tested on the exam.
okay.
But this exam actually is a little bit difficult if you actually. I also have the certified developer
Mm-hmm.
certification from ServiceNow. So this exam, I will say, is a little bit more challenging than
Okay,
that one. Um, but I was prepared because I took your Udemy course, so definitely check that out.
okay, okay, great. Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay. Let's say somebody is new, right, to ServiceNow Discovery, and he want to learn ServiceNow Discovery. Can you tell me step by step, like how he can, approach? Like, let's say he recently completed certified developer certification. Now he had a new requirement where his boss said like you have to work on discovery. So how a fresher or somebody with 2 or 3 years experience can approach the discovery?
Okay, so if your management says, I want to, you to work on discovery, I think the first thing that you would have a discussion with that person is, what are our goals? What are the outcomes that we want from discovery, right? Because there's many different outcomes that you can, want to achieve with the data. There's financial assets, tracking of the IT assets. There might be reducing, incidents, reducing outages. Um, Most of the times, right, it's because software and infrastructure is so complex, right, that they want kind of a shorter incident cycle, right? They want to use the data to figure out what's going on with the infrastructure faster. So if that's the case, obviously, I personally think that real world experience is going to be the most valuable learning experience, learning by doing. So if your boss says go do discovery, you're going to ask them why, and if he or she says, oh, it's because of incidents, run towards the incident, run towards the biggest outages, right? And see what data pieces are missing. How can the CMDB help you with that? And then from there, you'll need to work with, a lot of the governance around that. And then you'll have to, work with a lot of, you know, key stakeholders
Use
to get
cases,
that data.
yes, stakeholders. So you're saying like you means everyone should like use the approach of goal-oriented approach kind of thing, right? There is a discovery, but you should know for what you are doing discovery, what you are actually going to achieve with it, and then make a path.
Right, really right. Because one of the things I see where people struggle with CMDB is so wide, um, and you want to see this kind of golden data for everybody, but if you try to achieve too much at once, it can be overwhelming,
Okay. Okay.
and and it doesn't really have any value for anyone. But if you have a very good goal, very good scope, you can step by step achieve something valuable for everybody. And then other people say, "Oh, you're doing this. Can you do this for me?" And then you keep adding it over time, and then it becomes a very valuable golden source of data.
Okay, that's great. Great advice, actually. We see discovery as a very big picture, but we have to sort it out into a single small goals and then move forward with it. Really, it will help me as well. Thank you so much. And sorry.
But other than that, if getting the real world experience, you can also go for CCNA. I think networking is very important,
Okay,
CCNA, and then also not only just the network, connecting different types of network devices, like they focus on the CCNA. That's the challenge, right? You also have to tinker with different types of know a little bit about different types of ITOM concepts. So know a little bit about servers, know a little bit about cloud, know a little bit about Cisco, know a little bit about Kubernetes. So that's the challenge. You have to be really curious and kind of see, and also build relationships in the company, whether that's application developers, and and see how are you deploying things. Are you doing this via Kubernetes? Are you doing this on servers, on cloud, off cloud? What are your biggest challenges? Things like that. That's the third prong, right? The third prong is
okay,
the technical knowledge. The technical knowledge, the management, the management stakeholders. You have to manage you know, the stakeholders who are the SMEs, right? And then the soft skills of, working with everybody to get this data.
okay, okay, great. So within your journey of learning discovery, what all things you faced like as a struggle for you?
So
Can you share few of
definitely
your
yeah.
struggle point
So
where you
definitely the
think,
biggest,
yeah,
yes, the biggest difficulty I think when you roll out, a new discovery platform is that there will be existing discovery platforms probably in your organization. If you work for a Fortune 500, that's my experience, right? There will be other types of discovery, right? There's, Flexera, there's, like I said, proprietary tools. And the biggest challenge is going to be focusing on, getting those organizational priorities set, as well as getting what I say keys to the kingdom, which is all your credentials, making sure all the credentials work, getting access to all the network devices, all the servers, and making sure that those when they're adding new subnets, that those keys and credentials are all
okay,
updated, right? So I think getting keys, but that is an art,
right,
that is art more. So that's one of the most challenging things, I would say personally. Would you
okay,
say so?
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's a like complete checklist which you have provided, and without this, discovery is not at all possible. You have to think in such perspective. Great. Okay, so as you said, CMDB, ServiceNow, ServiceNow discovery is evolving. What do you think is lacking from existing ServiceNow out-of-box discovery? Or let's say what is not there till now, which you were
Uh,
expecting previously?
I think, yeah, like I said, I think there is for example, some of the, APIs for discovery with certain devices, let's say it's load balancers, they're kind of discovering a very shallow piece, horizontal piece, right? Basic fields on that device, which is kind of what they need. But if you look at like a load balancer, there's a lot more data like vertically inside the device that eventually I think ServiceNow will improve upon and get all of that data, right? So that we could actually you do more intent-based networking, right?
Okay,
So we could
okay,
say, okay, I want to apply this security rule, or I want to allow this on this load balancer, and we have the data, so we can do discovery and automatically push that out to to the configuration of that device. That's one thing I
okay,
think that
great.
they can expand on. And there's also other protocols, right? Mostly with network devices, there's it's SNP, but some network devices don't use SNP, like the phones,
Okay,
Cisco
okay,
phones, right? How can we connect it to other discovery protocols, like
okay,
I mentioned before, right? And that's gonna require a lot of work on the CNDB developer.
okay, great. Maybe somebody from ServiceNow is listening. They may use advice and take care of all these things. Yes, sir. There is lot which I also see in my organization. Clients are asking, let's say in Azure Discovery, they are not
Mhm.
discovering a whole resource types. there are a lot of resource types which are missing from out-of-box discovery, and people are asking us, and in terms of Azure discovery, we have very less opportunity to customize, right? We just has to
Mm-hmm.
use out-of-box options, and whatever they are sending, whatever they are discovering, we have to share that. So, yeah, lot is there, and definitely ServiceNow in future will take care of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, any of your
Especially in the cloud.
experience with cloud discovery?
Yeah, so that's more of on the subscription level, right? With cloud,
Right,
there's the IT asset, right? And then there's also the subscription, like the Azure, subscription data. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree.
right, right, great. So these all are the questions I have. Okay, and you answered all these questions quite well, and very practical, experience, I must say. And people will definitely get benefit with that. At last, would you like to say something for all the audience, or uh, any let's say uh, New Year's message?
Yes, I don't know if you could put on my LinkedIn, my LinkedIn on the site, but please reach out to me if you need any help with, CMDB discovery. I'm happy to talk to anybody. I'm very passionate about this field. Also, definitely take Omender's Udemy course. It's a great course, unlike any course I've taken at Udemy. Really appreciate that course. And then, maybe we could have another session in the future and talk deeper about, different strategies to get that data updated by users.
Sure, sure, I'll do that. And once again, thank you so much for your great feedback, and I'll keep that with me, and it has really helped me and my team to get motivated and produce such good content for all of you. And once again, thank you so much, Eric, for joining, and Happy New Year 2025 in advance.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much.